We're recording. Welcome to the podcast. Woo!
Hey!
Hello.
Isabella is with us. The lovely Isabella from Isabella Yachts. What's your actual work title? The name of the company? Isabella yachts Phuket Master. Brilliant. The amazing.
No, it's just Isabella yachts Phuket. Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
Cool.
So, Isabella, thank you for joining us on this beautiful, stroke cloudy day in the loveliness of Phuket. Where are you?
Thank you, guys.
Where are you now?
So, I am at home, like everyone else here in Phuket.
That's true.
I guess.
So, obviously,
Narrow that down.
yeah. Now, whereabouts in Phuket are you based?
I'm in Bang Tao, so up near Lion Beach.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been in Phuket for?
I've been living here now for 7.5 years, full time. Yeah.
Okay.
In November, it'll be 8 years.
And where were you from originally?
I'm from Switzerland. I'm from Lugano, Switzerland, but I have 2 passports. I have also an Italian passport, so I'm half Swiss, half Italian.
Which is your favourite?
Yeah.
It depends. I like to use them both according to, well, I'm half-half, really. I can cook like an Italian, but I can be punctual like a Swiss. So I take the best of both worlds, really.
Right, fair enough. Okay.
So you came to Phuket 7-8 years ago. What was the reason you came here?
So first time I came to Phuket was 2007 on holiday, actually. And that's when my parents actually bought a house here. So from 2007 till 2012, I was actually in London, living in London. But because of my parents being here most of the year, I was coming every year here to celebrate Christmas with them. So from 2007 to 2012, I spent all my Christmases here in Phuket. And I really liked Phuket until the 2012, I got a job offer. And I decided to move here. And that's where I stayed. Yeah.
And what was the job offer in 2012? What was that?
It was a funny story, but yeah. So basically, I came to work for a guy here. I'm not going to say any names.
Mention names.
Tell us.
Especially if it went bad.
Tell us.
So it's a Swedish guy. He was not in Phuket, actually. He was in Sweden, but he was coordinating me from Sweden. And that's what I understood Then I understood why he was not allowed in Phuket anymore. So then it was a little bit of a dodgy story. So then I ended up working for another company with you, Russell, if you remember.
Yeah, I do indeed.
Whoa! Slow down. Now. No. I was not briefed about this. So one of you explain.
Well, so Isabel, it's your podcast, so you go first, because I obviously I know where our paths crossed. So, how long the first company that you were working with? That was 2012, and then I'm trying to think in my own timeline when I started with Coral Seekers. It's probably 2012. Yeah, so it was around a similar sort of time. Oh, hello, there's a plant. Random.
Oh, why are you running? Sorry, Isabella.
I'm looking.
I'm just jungle.
Well, I like that though. It feels like we're peeping toms on you. That's the only thing sneaking through your window, trying to check you out in the shower. That's not. I quite like it. I think. It's
I'm not knocking it. It's.
I quite know. We'll keep this. This is good.
Yeah. It's all about knowing your audience.
We should explain the podcast. Isabella's obviously fed up with her phone or whatever device she's using falling over, so she's using some plant to hold it up. However, the plant is covering the actual screen. Oh, she's gone now. She's just.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay, Russell. So please explain how you and Isabella work together.
Oh well, no, I'll let Isabella do that because it's obviously the link from when you left the first company, because then. Oh, you tell the story. So then you set up your own, or what was the process from leaving one to?
No. So I came here and I wasn't actually working for a company. I was working for a guy who promised me eventually a company, a work permit, and everything else, and nothing happened. So that's why I ended up working for another company. Can I say names?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when I decided to when I met the owner of Coral Seekers, and I started working with them for a while, because I had a boat which we were working together with Coral Seekers, but yeah, then that didn't work, and I ended up opening my own company about 5 years ago.
When you say you had a boat, what boat did you have?
It was a Wellcraft 33 feet, which is an American from Florida. It's a boat, fishing boat mainly, usually, and it was great for day trips, luxury day trips, private kind of charters. And unfortunately, it sank during a storm in 2013 November, I guess.
Yeah,
down in Chalong. There was a big storm. She was moored. She was in a boat on a buoy in Oyon, and over 80 boats got destroyed in the whole island on that day.
That was crazy, because the storm, I remember that, because I was still at Coral
Remember,
Seekers at the time. Yeah, very much. Because I remember them saying, right, we should probably get they told everyone to bring all the boats into that sort of area, because it's a nice little cove, it'll be safe. And it was one of the hardest hit areas, and just everything got fucking smashed.
All right, that's Oyon Bay. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, Jay, to bring you up to speed, Isabella and our paths crossed, and again, it was in around 2012, because I had just come back from the States. So no, I mean 2013. I just come back from the States, and Stuart had just had his accident here in Phuket.
Oh yes.
And I got the call through Claire and someone else, and with James, it's someone that can sort of take the reins. And I think at that time, like, there was literally a wedding or two the next day for me to sort of step into, and then sort of learn about the boats and all of that. And then as time sort of progressed, and then chatting with James about, we wanted to, because for them it was all about just day trips on the speedboats, and I think it still is, the weddings and all of that. And then when you came along, it was like, great, there's an opportunity there to market more of a luxury angle to the business.
Now I'll stop you, Russell. I think you're right, because you've got you that are probably about there from a luxury point of view, and then you've got Isabella.
That's kind of you.
I mean, above the screen, somewhere up. I think. Okay, so I didn't know you two worked together for Coral Seekers.
Yeah.
Interesting. Can I go back a little bit? Now, obviously, you run your own amazing yacht company, which we'll touch on a bit later. What got you into sailing originally? Because as a sailor myself, I want to, salty old sea dog and all that, and we can talk about anchors and tying knots and stuff later. But what got you into the sailing? Did you grow up sailing?
Yes. I've been going on boats all my life. I've been growing up every summer when I was young in Sardinia Island in Italy, where yes, I've been doing a lot of boating all my youth when I was really young, and then I was in London. When I was in London, I was studying, and then when I finished studying, I was working for a company called the Yacht Week, which they do flotillas around the world. They started in Croatia, but now they do a bit everywhere. And so I was working with them, which was already sailing boats, planning weekly trips. And then, so I was working for them for a couple of years in London, and then I moved here. So I was already in the business already in London.
You grew
Sorry,
up
just going back a little bit, just to get some sort of chronology with it. So you were born and grew up in Italy?
In Switzerland, in Lugano, born and raised, yeah.
Okay,
which is in the border. It's in the border of Italy. It's literally like 20 minutes away from Italy, where I'm from.
Just sort of hop over the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, and how long were you there for?
Well, I was born there, and I grew up there until I was 8 years old. I moved to Venezuela for 2 years, which is a bit random, and then from there I moved back to Lugano.
When you say you moved there, I'm assuming
family.
here that Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for
So,
business. No,
came down
it
for
was,
breakfast one morning, said, Mum, Dad, you know what? It's great, but I'm fucking off to Venezuela for a couple of years. I just want to, yeah, fair enough.
No.
Start
Yeah.
my own drug cartel in Venezuela. I'm off.
I hear business is booming.
I know how to drive a powerboat. I've seen Miami Vice. That's all I need. Off I go.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happened in my head anyway.
Yeah. So you spent 2 years as a drug runner in Venezuela, and then
Yes. And then I moved back to Lugano. Continued my I was 12 back then. So and then I went to an American school in Lugano in my town. So that's how I learned English. And then I continued my studies in American university around Europe. So hence why my English should be pretty okay now. And yeah, so that's that's
and what did you study when you were at university?
Media, communication, and management.
Okay. And at that particular time, I mean, obviously you've been sailing when you were younger, and you'd been on the water, so that's at that stage more of a hobby and a passion. But at that stage, when you're at uni, you're doing your media and your marketing. Was that your particular track? Was there a focus that you wanted to move into?
There was no focus. I had no idea what I was gonna do, but then I just started working with both, and it was event management, a lot of it. So it was a lot of PR. It was quite reflecting a lot to what I kind of studied as well. I mean, it was a lot of to deal with a lot of people, manage a lot of people, events, and clients, check them in, and take them around for the whole week. I mean, we would even go in the islands and help out the clients. So it was a lot of coordinating. And
when you started, so fresh out of uni, did you move from then straight to London, or were you sort of based all around Europe, or what?
No, actually in uni, I did 1 year in Milan, 1 year in Rome, and then I moved to London. Yeah, so that was in 2007 when I moved to London. Yeah. So I tried Italy. Again, I was in American schools, both in Italy, both in Milan and both in Rome. And then I went to an American university in London, and there I stayed.
Can I ask a personal question? And you don't have to answer this. How old are you?
How old I am? I'm 1986, so I'm 34 in July.
So 2 years younger than me. Got you.
Honestly, no one believes. Look at this. Can I just explain?
Actually, now.
Explain our attire at the moment. We don't look as you look beautiful, by the way. You look fresh and beautiful. And
Thank you. I had a shower.
Not you, Russell. Us two idiots with this stupid beard growing. Russell and I are having a beard grow up. It's not even a grow off. We've just decided not to shave while we're under lockdown, which was a stupid idea.
I was hearing that on the other podcast.
It's gone too far though, because it's horrible now.
Yeah,
I hate it. I look old.
I mean,
is there a specific reason why you guys are growing it, or
just
idiots?
I think it just got to the point where it's like your normal sort of stubble after a few days, and then it came a few more days, and it reached a point where it was like, if I shave this now, it's a big moment. And also we're in lockdown, so I kind of thought, well, I'll tell you what, this is my rallying against lockdown. My personal expression is I'm just not going to shave until we're allowed out. If I'm not allowed out, what's the fucking point?
I don't. The beard, I'm okay with the beard a little bit. It's Russell's hair, which I think is brilliant because it just looks, or at least I can do something with mine. His is dreadful.
It's amazing.
Dreadful. I'm surprised Emily hasn't left you yet. I'm surprised she hasn't got up and walked off.
She's not allowed to. There's only so far she can get.
Anyway, let's get back to Isabella. So look, I'm from a boating background. My background is 15, 20 years teaching sailing and running different regattas.
Look at you.
So I just want to touch on this. So when you were doing your stuff in London, you were just basically, you were sorting flotillas out. And what sort of flotillas were we talking about? You say you started in Croatia. Were they big flotillas, small flotillas? What sort of boats?
Yeah, now they're huge. I mean, I'm talking 2010, 11 when I was working for them. Back then it was in Croatia. So they started in Croatia. I think it was 2006 2006, 2007, something like that. The first location was Croatia. Now they have 3 spots in Croatia. I think it's north, middle, and south. And back then it was about 100 boats a week. So every Saturday you would have almost 1,000 people check in. Until the next Saturday, they check out, and another 1,000 would come in, and you check another 1,000 in. So in Croatia was the biggest flotilla. I mean, up to 100 boats. There would be a 1 crew boat, which was the biggest boat with about 35 staff on it, which that's where I would stay. And then the other boats, monohulls or catamarans, they would follow the crew boat around, and we would make a planned route for them. So every day we would go to a different island. And us, the crew boat, we would go up and set up everything on the island. The island usually was nothing there, or maybe a tiny bar with some electricity. And we would bring like all the equipment to throw the biggest parties, DJs, photographers, blah, blah, blah. And so people would arrive on the island and would just, they would all anchor one next to each other and then all jump down and party there. And then the next day we go to another island and do the same.
And was this all corporate client?
No, it was not corporate client. Unfortunately, they were
private
from 20, not below 20 years old, not above 30 years old.
Okay.
It's very different from the flotillas I used to run. Now, I used to have flotillas for about 6 to 10 boats, and they were generally families that were on because I did Sunsail for a long time, so that was the flotillas that I was working on. So you obviously know them. But ours were very much different. You'd go out for the day and then you'd find a beach and you'd have a barbecue. You wouldn't be having DJs and parties. So I'm thinking you're a little bit more top end of flotilla sailing.
It was like they had like Croatia is it's a special example because it's the biggest one. That's why they had so many boats, and they actually had wristbands as well, because only the people that were in the yacht week, so were part of this flotilla, were allowed on these parties. Obviously, you had the locals that wanted to join the parties, and then there was like fights, problems. So we would actually put bouncers at the entrance and like not let other people walk in these special parties for us. But in other routes, like for example, I created the Italian route, which is down in Sicily. In those, there's also the Thai route. They haven't done it in the last 2 years, but they're probably going to do it next year. This year, I mean. And there's only like 10, 20 boats maximum. There's not 100 boats. So there's other routes like Greece as well. There's less boats. The biggest one is Croatia.
Greece is, I sailed around Greece and Turkey a lot. Greece is beautiful for sailing. I mean,
I know. Greece, I've never sailed in Greece. Imagine.
Oh, there's no wind. If you want proper sailing, there's not much wind. But just from the beauty point of view, oh, it's stunning. And Turkey as well.
So many islands on top.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, so you were doing that, and then you say your parents came out here to buy a property. Were they looking to buy a property in Phuket, or it just so happens that they came here on holiday?
No, my mom's sister, she's still living in Singapore. She's been living in Singapore for many years. So she introduced my mom to Phuket because they had an apartment here. So my mom was coming here to visit her quite a bit until she managed to finally bring down my father. And he fell in love immediately with the island, with golf, with the massages, with everything. So they immediately looked for a house, and they bought it. So that was in 2007. So yeah, we've had a house here since then.
Are they still living here now? Are you all living together, or?
They spend half the year here and half the year in Europe. Okay. So yeah.
And which half are they in right now?
Now it's the half. Well, my father is here with me at the moment. My mom flew back a month ago because my brother is in Switzerland. So now the family is half here, half there.
Oh, bummer.
And we have supports from both sides. Yeah, my dad is not allowed out anyway. So his flight was canceled at the end of March. So yeah, now he's stuck here with me. But everything's fine.
I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind being. No, I was going to go too far then.
Don't go there.
I'd be happy to be stuck with Isabella. So your parents then brought here. So then you came here visiting, and you just went. You know what? I'm bored of London. I like it here.
Well, no, I always liked Phuket a lot, and London. I mean, it was just after the recession. There was not too many opportunities. I mean, Yacht Week was fun, but I mean, there was not much much else I could find that was really interesting. And I didn't want to really work in an office, so it's quite hard to be in London and not in an office.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I got this offer, I said, why not? I mean, at the end of the day, I had nothing to lose. I had a house here. I'm like, okay, I can go and try it out. If it doesn't work out, I just come back. I mean, I don't have to rent or do any contracts or anything specific, special, you know. So I tried.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
So
when you got
work out.
when you worked with Russell, and obviously you then decided to set up your own business as soon as you met Russell because you didn't want to work for Coral Secret anymore because he was there. What did you always have? Did you always consider doing the Isabella yachts? What was your, when you were thinking about it and when you kind of had the whole thought process? What was your what were you thinking about at the time? Did you want to do flotillas, yacht charters, or yacht management, or crew? What kind of thing were you thinking about?
Yeah, I think I never wanted to open my own company. I always wanted to be an employee, to be honest with you. But then after being here for a year, so the first year I was here, I was basically refitting this boat that ended up sinking after a year. So I've refit that boat completely, the engines, fixed, huge job I did on that boat. And yes, and after that, I had to learn many things in the business. I never came here with the idea to setting up my own business and going and doing it, I mean, to be honest. But then once I was here for a year, testing all the waters, literally, and all the situations and stuff, I saw that it was not as complicated, as scary, as difficult as it could have, as I thought it was. So I decided to open my own. But obviously I had to test the situation for about a year before doing that, but it wasn't in my head. It was either that, once that boat sank, it was either go back to London and find I don't know what, or try and find something to stay here. So that was my I wanted to stay here, so that was my solution.
So
At the same time, at that point, nothing to lose, right? Give it a crack and see what happens.
Exactly.
So when you say you didn't want to set your own business up, but you kind of tested the water, what were you thinking about? What was the first thought? This is what I think there's a market for, and I can do this.
Well, there was a market. I mean, I was doing a little bit of charters here and there. It was working out. I had a few boats. I only had one boat myself, but then I was using, as I'm still doing right now, I'm using other people's boats, so other owners that have boats here that they don't use as much. So I charter these boats for them, and I help them cover some costs. And so it was doing pretty well. I saw there was a potential for it, and I was loving it because, I mean, it's planning. So it's a lot of event coordination and stuff like that. And plus it's the sea, it's the island. So it was the best combination for me. Plus living here, I love islands in general, vibes and everything. So going back to a city life, I'm not sure it would have worked out.
So you basically the original plan, which you're still doing, is just chartering. So you get a boat with a crew and then you just put people on it and they go off and have a day trip or whatever they want to do.
Correct. From 1 day to half day to 1 week, I plan everything for them. I mean, we plan. We are a good team, so we have many people, and we plan everything.
Sorry, just jump in. Do you also do things like sort of larger scale events, or anything from like maybe a dive trip, or if someone's got like a 50th birthday or something, they want to do like a going back to doing events on islands and sort of stuff. Can you do that sort of thing as well?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So how many? What we don't do joint trips like the majority of the Thai companies do here. So we only do private trips. So we wouldn't do joint trips like get people from different hotels and put them in one boat. Yeah. We don't do that because it's not the nature of our business. There's plenty of other companies doing that already. So we focused on something else, which is more private and luxury.
Now, one of the things I've noticed from your point of view, now from obviously you being a lot younger than a lot of the other charter companies on the island, you, when I first started seeing what you were doing, you were much more on the social media side of things than a lot of the other companies were. Now, was that something that you wanted to go down that route? Because from an Instagram point of view, you were kind of way ahead of the game, in my opinion, from the other yacht companies and the yacht charter companies. You were definitely showing a different, younger face. And I think because I've been on one of your day trips from a photo shoot, although I wasn't in any of the photos, I did notice that the more beautiful people were asked to be at the front, and us ugly guys were told to get down below and hide, which
There's a
I'm
reason for
totally
that,
okay with. Totally okay with. I haven't held a problem with it. But from the social media point of view, was that something you were really passionate about? You thought that was from a marketing point of view, that's where you wanted to go?
Well, I have to say that I've learned from the experience. So the Yacht Week, the company that I was working in London, they actually, all their marketing, I learned from them because they were super strong on social media. And most of all, what made them super successful is one simple video they did on YouTube, which got up to 3 million views or more, I think. Well, by now, I think it's way more by now. But they did one video, which basically described the whole week. It was a really good video, really quick, very fun, which basically did a resume of the week. I mean, it would give you an idea what the week was going to look like. And with that video, which costed them nothing, they just started leaking it all over the internet from Facebook. Instagram wasn't even there back then, I think. So it was mainly Facebook and YouTube, and that's what gave them the popularity at the beginning. So I was shocked by that because one video just gave them the whole thing.
But that also gave you the impetus to say, this obviously works. So if I can incorporate some level of social media content into what I'm doing, then you've already seen the benefit of it. So, and then you jumped on the bandwagon, which is great.
Well, I have to say, I mean, I'm not just kissing your ass, but I actually really like your social media stuff. I find it really engaging, and it's actually, it's all, what I like about it is it's almost you are telling a story to us. And I think this is what people need to learn is you can post as many stories and pictures and videos as you like, but you need to be telling a story. And if that story's not there, people aren't engaged in that story. It's just bullshit. It's just loud noise. Whereas I look at what you do, and there's always a story behind it. A lot of it is and it's not all about you as in Isabella. It's about, your story as a company. And I really like that because you're the focal point, but you're not the focal point, if you know what I mean. I'm not trying to say you're there going, it's me. But I love the fact that it is you because that you're part of the story of this company. And I think a lot of companies could learn from what you do. And I've always respected what you do especially from an Instagram point of view. There's not many out there, especially in Phuket. I'd say there's probably none that are doing it as well as you are from Instagram for sure.
Wow, thanks very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Now, if you want to sponsor the podcast, it's 25,000 baht a month. Listen, I've got my little with my zoom. Let me hear say Wayo. Wayo has said that we've only got a few minutes left. Isabella, could you tell us? Oh no, Russell, can you ask your question?
Oh yeah. So just briefly, tell us a couple of things that you might have on your bucket list. So things that
my bucket list.
Yeah, a view into that.
Probably at the moment, I don't have a huge bucket list. I'm just waiting for this thing to end because, as you know, the island is empty. There's no business. There's not much to do. So it's quite, making plans now is probably not the best.
Assuming all of this is gone.
Yeah, when all this is gone, one thing I would like to do is, which I've always wanted to do. I've been here for 7 years, but I haven't traveled much around Asia. So I've been only to Angkor Wat. I've never been to Vietnam. I've never been to Laos. I've been to Singapore, but there's many countries that I'm missing out around here. And I would love to, even Thailand itself. I have seen Bangkok, Pattaya Marina, and that's about it. I haven't seen much, and the islands here south, of course, but on top, the north, Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, I've never been. Yep. So there's a lot of traveling that I'm missing out here.
Russell's been to Angkor Wat. Russell, tell us your story about Angkor Wat. You threw up at Angkor Wat, didn't you?
Oh, well, no. Well, hang on, it's a little bit more extended than that.
No, just the short version. Wat. Russell was
the short version is I vomited near Angkor Wat. The slightly elongated version was that I was there for the Angkor Wat marathon, and the week prior to the race, I was really, really ill. But we'd already booked the trip to go to there with Steve, so we went, and on the race, just died.
Oh wow!
If you're into, are you into running at all? Do you like? No, okay.
Me, no. I'm not into running. No.
I'm with Isabella on this one. Running's six. We
Yeah, but
don't
I'll
run.
tell you what you should do. Did you only go to Angkor Wat, or did you see any of the other temples when you were there?
No, I've seen a few of the temples, but I was there for 3 days, so it wasn't much.
Oh, yeah. So, because we did a bike trip on that day, the following day. And it was, I think, like a 9-hour bike ride, which sounds horrific, but you were on the bike for like 5 minutes at a time. But you didn't follow the main sort of tourist minivan tracks and see all the main sites. You saw so much more because you were getting to
I can
trace
imagine. Huh?
Yeah, and it's going through the jungle tracks. That was really fascinating. So yeah, I'm with you. So in terms of doing a lot of traveling around Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and all of that, there's a lot to see.
A lot to see and a lot to know where to go, because many times I travel, I end up being a tourist, and I don't like that. So I rather go with someone that either lives there or takes me there. So I rather take my time than just rush it there and do it like a tourist, which is not as much fun, you know.
Yeah,
and have you got any plans for the company? I know obviously with all this lockdown and stuff, it's frigging a nightmare. So what about for your business? Because I mean, look, like I said, I mean, I do stalk you a lot on social media. What's your plans for your charter business? Do you want to take it further, or are you very happy with where you are right now?
I'm actually very happy where we are right now. I mean, we just need we just need the virus to go away so that customers come back and we can work again, because obviously we got all cancellations. We've been very flexible, so we've given rescheduling, or we even refunded the money to people that are canceled. I mean, it was a disaster this high season, but of course we're all in the same boat. I mean, it's not just us; it's everyone else around the world. So, yeah, no, we're doing fantastically. January 2020 was our best month ever.
Wow.
And February was terrible, of course, and March it's just getting worse and worse. So everything's fine. We just need the virus to leave. We were on the best track possible, to be honest.
Listen, it's gonna go, and I think that, I mean, you'll definitely be all right. I mean, like I said, you've got, how many boats do you have now that in your fleet?
In our fleet, we have 3 catamarans. All of them are lagoons, 45, 42, and 40. And then we have 2 ribs. One is 35 feet, 28 feet, sorry, and the other one is 50 feet. And yeah, so these are the 5 boats we manage exclusively. We charter exclusively, and we have them all in Yacht Heaven Marina.
And
I've got a feeling
sorry, Russ, hold on.
I was just saying, I've got a feeling once all of this is over, you're probably going to find there's a lot of people that are going to go, right, let's have a party, get themselves on a boat. And,
that's what we're all hoping and praying for.
Well, maybe we should have our first yacht charter podcast live session, Russell, on one of Isabella's yacht. Although my favourite one of your boat, and I have been on your lagoon catamaran, but I really like the one, the blue rib with the long tubes.
The Interceptor.
Interceptor, because it's got a cool name, and 2, it's pretty damn sexy. It's a sexy looking boat. Well, look, listen, Isabella, we've got a minute to go. So, look, thank you very much for being in our little podcast. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Love to see you again.
Yeah, thanks.
Lovely to see you guys as well.
And look, we'll put all the links in the description of how people can get hold of you. And please do check Isabella out on social media and on her website. And if you want to book out a little fleet or a little boat trip, then give her a shout, because she's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the advertisement as well.
Very, very soon, and stay safe, and lots of love to the family. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That was a fun podcast.
That was great. That was really good fun. It was nice. I haven't seen Isabella for ages, to be honest.
I did not know you knew her. I didn't know you worked with her.
Like I say, it was first year of Coral Seekers, and our paths crossed a fair bit. She wasn't working in the office sort of full time with me, although to be fair, neither was I actually. I was sort of in and out of the office. So, but yeah, that's how I knew her.
You said, fuck me. You didn't tell me that either.
Mate, I'm not sure we should even snog right now. It would be like Velcro getting stuck together.
Oh, don't. Oh, God, our beards are terrible. Anyway, no, that was... I enjoyed our chat with her. I've always liked Isabella. I've always found her... I've always been nervous of her a little bit, in the way that she's a very... powerful woman is not the wrong word. I know that's... But do you know what I mean? She's very... she's very similar to my ex-wife. That she's got a determination.
No, she's not.
No, no, but in a determination of she's a very business-minded and she's, she holds herself very well. She's very much more of an adult than I am. But actually, so that was the first
That's a low bar.
But what do you mean a low bar?
So more of an adult than you are.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
that
low
is a low
bar.
bar. You're right. It's a very low bar. But no, I actually, I really enjoyed. I've chatted to her. Like I said, I went out on a boat once, but I've never had a chat to her one-on-one like that. No, well, 1-on-3. Manger toi. But no, I enjoyed that chat. I'm very interested. I'd like to go on more. Unfortunately, the Zoom meeting 40 minutes thing has kicked in, but maybe I'll pay the $15 a month to improve that, because we could have gone further with her, so to speak. Third base, but no, I like her, and she's cool. And I tell you what, her yacht charter stuff is very good, and it's worth. If people out there are listening, they want to go on them. Once this whole thing's sorted out, go on her yacht charter stuff. It's fun.
I was just going to say, to be fair, because when she started working with Coral Seekers, that was the idea for them to move more from just doing the fab, fun family speedboat trips to going up to that more luxury level with these sort of high-end yachts and what have you. And then she's obviously branched off and done that sort of on her own and done really well out of it. So and they've got some nice boats.
She's got a lovely couple of boats she's got.
Lovely couple of boats she's got.
Right, on that note, thank you for listening. We were doing loads, aren't we? Like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. We're Phuketpodcast on Instagram, on Facebook with Leshark and friends. I've put the entire back catalogue of our podcasts on YouTube. So we're now on YouTube as well. So if you search Leshark and friends and Russell or something like that on YouTube, you by the time this one's released, because I haven't done it today, but we have put all the back catalogue of the entire. This is episode 30, I believe.
The entire history of the Leshark and Friends show.
Yeah, it's all up there, and I'll even put up the podcast of I can't even say it. Positivity.
Oh, I've got 3 things. When are we next doing the Positivity podcast?
Because
people are dying tonight.
Not today, because I am not that positive today. I don't know. We'll talk to you about that later. Right, say goodbye to everybody, because this is the end of the podcast.
Bye, everybody. It's been amazing. Thanks again for listening. Speak to you soon.
I don't know why we're waving. It's silly, really.
It feels like a natural thing to do.